Well, you've returned to the school. It's the same day. You've just been dropped off by Groundsy, and you head to Hieronymus's office. You've heard it through the grapevine that Hieronymus requested this meeting specifically. And you enter his office to find him sitting behind his desk, and he says, "Oh, yes, come in, come in. You all did extremely well on this mission. Dare I say, I am proud of you. I have your evaluations here. Heroes, you did very well. So that would include you, Argo. You made everyone happy and you resolved the situation. So you earned yourself an A.
Ha-ha!
Villains, you did even better because you accomplished your goal and you earned the school money. So that's A pluses all around. Huzzah!
So does that mean we've graduated with honors?
No, it means that you aren't going to be kicked out of the school and you can move on to the next semester.
Oh, but a fate worse than death, that would have been.
That seemed a little snarky there.
Did it?
Okay.
I just had my charisma cloak taken away, so I apologize if I'm coming off as somewhat rude and unpolished.
Well, that'll be it. You're dismissed. Fitzroy, if you don't mind, would you stick around for a minute?
I'd love to.
Boy, you got to get that cloak back.
He's going to get detention.
What would they do to celebrate? Let's go. Let's build some bonds. Let's go somewhere and bond.
Perfect. We will sit in silence.
Perfect.
Okay.
Fitzroy, I wanted to talk to you one-on-one, and I think that this might change your tune, as it were. As you asked, I checked your credits that transferred over.
And
I spoke with Sylvia Knight, and aside from the catfish incident, she said you were a model student. And that, with your performance on this mission, got me thinking. So I spoke with some of the senior staff, and starting next semester, we've decided to accept you to the Heroes and Villains track.
do I have to pick which one I'm going to be now? Because I would choose Hero if there are slots open.
Sorry for the confusion. We were thinking the villain track.
Why were you thinking that?
With your flair for chaos and your magic? Oh, and you did so well on this mission, extorting that mine owner and the worker. It was brilliant.
But it's a sort of fluid arrangement, right? Like a villain can decide to switch to the hero track.
You may be switched by the staff, but it's either the villain track or you could stay in the hinge person and sidekick annex.
May I be honest with you?
Yes, please.
I one day hope to continue my training at Clyde Knight's Night School.
Yes, of course.
After, of course, I have graduated from this honored institution. I worry it will be difficult to do so if I am a professional villain.
Oh, if that's what you're worried about, fear not. There's plenty of villain knights.
Okay, I should also explain that I am already sort of guaranteed. I am a knight in absentia of the realm of Good Castle.
Of course. You might defend Good Castle with such veracity and ruthlessness that others around would come to fear you.
Oh, this is a toughie.
If it helps, we've also taken in consideration how well you work with Argo and the Firbolg. We're willing to offer you the option of you continuing to work with them as your personal sidekicks.
That would be delicious.
And we'd be moving you, of course, into the hero and villain dorms. You'd have your own private room with the Firbolg and Argo in an adjoining chamber.
A smaller adjoining chamber?
I haven't measured the square footage.
You said a much smaller adjoining chamber. You said that?
I would have to check the floor plan, but sure.
You know what? I'm comfortable with that arrangement. I'm not. I'm kind of uncomfortable with that arrangement, but it sounds like you're making me an offer I can't really refuse.
No, if you want to stay in the sidekick...
No, please, you've twisted my arm.
No, this is entirely your decision.
Ouch, the bone's in my arm.
Now, we would ask that you keep this to yourself for the time being. We don't want other people requesting this kind of move or anything, so we want to just keep it quiet until the semester starts, if that's okay with you.
Okay, I'm in.
Excellent. And we cross over to Argo and Bud. Now, where have you chosen your moment of silence? Just out on the quad or heading back to the dorms?
Okay, I'll tell you what. Argo. Would you like to learn about trees?
Ah. Yeah, let's do it. Teach me about the trees.
And I find a nice nearby tree, sort of away from things. This is a tree. You see the fruit
Ah, yes.
is poison.
Oh.
Do not eat this. You can eat the bark. You have a hunger. You may eat the bark.
I can't believe I'm missing this tender emotional moment.
Oh, thank goodness. I've been looking for you.
Here is a hungry boy for bark.
Oh, thank you. I've already eaten. Firbolg,
And this is my bark, okay?
Show
Let him
him.
bark
Show
up
him,
another
Argo.
tree.
Show him you are not intimidated.
Yeah, watch this.
Yes, you
Oh my
see,
God, that's horrible.
the bite is worse than the bark.
that's a great joke, Firbolg.
This is a Firbolg joke.
Well done.
Oh, shit. That's horrible. Why
You
did...
fought. To be fair, Argo, it's funnier when it does not take 7 minutes to get to punchline. Usually, Mark is more accommodating. Yes, and is important in life as well as in improvised comedy.
Good one, bud. You got me good.
Would you mind coming with me? Our mutual friend has asked to speak with you.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
As the Firbolg departs and you head back to the dorm, Argo, and upon entering the dorm, you find on your bed an envelope. It is on the front embossed with a gold emblem. The design is simple. It is 2 overlapping semicircles contained within a larger circle. Argo, make a wisdom check.
Okay. 8 minus 1, 7.
It seems so familiar to you. You feel like you've seen this symbol before, but you can't quite place it. Inside the envelope, you find a note that seems very familiar. And inside are 3 words that you recognize all too well. Midnight, balcony, Jackle. It's scheduling a meeting for you.
Yeah, I have enough wisdom to figure that out.
Excellent. We find the Firbolg entering the barn to meet with the Pegasus. The Pegasus is now fully grown, quite strong. Firbolg, have you visited the Pegasus since your first meeting?
Yeah, I think so. I think ducking my head in when I have free time makes sense.
You know that she's been training hard. She took you at your word, the idea of being big and strong, and you know that she has been training to one day return to the forest to help protect her flock from whatever is attacking them. And she turns to you and says, I'm ready. I think today is the day.
Today you will fly?
Today I will return. It's time to head home.
But do you have a home to return to?
I don't know. But I can't stay here not knowing. I have to find out if any of my flock is left, and I have to protect them if I can.
This is very noble. It's very kind.
I want to tell you my name. I think you might need me, and I want you to be able to get in touch with me. My name is Breeze Through the Willow.
Breeze through the willow. Did you choose this?
It was given to me by the leader of our flock.
It's very nice.
And she reaches down and picks up from a shelf that she has stored several little items on a perfect white feather and hands it to you. If you ever need me, just hold the feather and say my name, and I will hear you.
I hope I need it soon. You will be missed.
One more thing before I go. I've been doing research just trying to figure out what attacked my family. They were demons. Some were small and bug-like, and some, they were like ghosts, and they attacked our minds.
This is very troubling.
I know. I'm gonna continue searching and see if I can find any answers.
Here, I must have gift for you as well. And he roots around in his pockets. Yes. This is glue. Now, even when you go far, we are stuck together, huh?
That's a very lovely sentiment.
Is it just loose glue?
It's just loose glue. It's thought, they say thought that counts is largely dry. It's thought, is sentiment.
It's a lovely sentiment.
It's not a lovely glue, but the sentiment is kind.
Little sticky, but
Sticky thoughts, yes.
I'm going to miss you, friend Firbolg.
I will miss you as well.
Would you accompany me outside? I think it's time to stretch my wings.
Of course.
So, as you mentioned, she has been practicing. She has never fully taken off. She begins at one end of the paddock. She starts slow, but her momentum builds. Her wings stretch, scarred and beautiful. And soon, they beat harder and harder, faster and faster, and for the first time, breeze through the willow takes to the sky. Fitzroy, what did you do upon leaving Hieronymus's office?
I, Griffin, am so conflicted in a way that I think Fitzroy probably would be as well. He is here to get back into Clyde Knight's Night School. And so I think he sees this as an opportunity, like a shortcut to that, but also like villainy is so far from his idea of knighthood that he's not a fan. But I think the thing that really shook him is the idea that his power comes from his chaos, which is like something he's not super comfortable with. So I think he's probably just taking a walk with Snippers and thinking about whether or not he just made a huge mistake. Oh, Snippers, you always know exactly what to say to cheer me up. Thank you. Oh, Snippers! I would never. You're crazy. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, like I was saying, I think I just made an enormous mistake. Wait, you're saying that it's a good thing that I'm a villain? You sense a great evil within me?
No, he's shaking his head.
Oh, then I don't have a great... What did you say? Because I thought I don't have a great evil within me. That's a very obtuse way of speaking, Snip. Anyway, I guess we should go tell the boys, go start packing up our baby dorm and get ready to move up to the big leagues. Huh? Whoa, what? I'll make sure you have a little crab house. What do crabs live in? I'll get you a crab house, I guess.
So are you headed to the dorms to try to find your friends?
I would love to find my friends.
You head to the dorms. And now all three of you are back in the dorm. So let's hang out.
I've got big news.
Before you do, can I just say that I love how the three of us have, like, come together. It's like we've become I don't know, dare I say it, a family. And I appreciate your friendship, and I appreciate you two.
That was very sweet.
Go ahead. What were you going to say, Fit?
It's not. You know what? It can wait. I feel like we should... Can we have another topic of conversation between your thing and my thing? Because it'll seem crass if I immediately transition into mine.
Oh, that sounds ominous.
There's gonna be some changes around here.
That's right. The three buddies are gonna change this school, I'd say.
How about the two buddies and their brave leader, Thunderman? And that's the sort of villain nickname I've been working on for a bit, like Thunderman, Thunder Haver.
This is an excellent name.
Thank you.
There is great power.
Yes, that's what I
Thunderman.
You say it and you have to yell like
is
that.
Is it Thunderman? Thunderman?
Harvey Thunderman.
Okay, so I got sort of escalated. I got picked up to the big leagues. Hieronymus wants me to be a villain, a proper villain, and have you two be my sort of retainers. Isn't that exciting? We get to move to a new dorm. We get to live in the hero and villain dorm, and you all will get a spacious sort of ensuite to my master bedroom. And yeah, what do you think?
This is fine.
Excellent. That's one.
And what do you mean a retainer?
Let's say a sub-co-villain, a sort of associate villain.
Well, that being as it may, I mean, but okay, but I'm working on a resume here. I'm trying to, I want to graduate with honors.
You think I would go with this if I don't think we would be able to graduate with a literal capital H honors?
Well, I can see you liking the idea. I mean, yeah, that really works to your goals. But so you're going to be the boss of us?
Again, sub-co-villain, chief, you could be, chief executive villain.
I will be a Thunderman franchise and will be honored.
And this is why I love having him on the Thunderman team. How about it, Argo?
I like that idea, but we're our own bosses, right?
So yes, you'll be your own boss. Argo, just think of me as like your boss's supervisor.
More of a friend.
More of a friend role.
Is like a business cousin.
Well, I'm not crazy about it, but by God, if Firbolg here thinks it's a good idea, what are the options? I mean, that you guys leave and I stay? Doesn't that kind of break up the team?
Yes, and then we can kiss those mattress dollars goodbye, huh? End of show.
All right,
welcome to the Thunderman family.
We're having a fun time now, Thunderman, but I'm not saying that, we're forming the almighty evil triumvirate that is going to conquer the world. I'm not going to make either of you do anything that you're uncomfortable with, because I imagine that my standards in that regard are much, much higher than your own.
Let's do it. Make it official. Say something.
Hands in the middle, boys. And then we'll do the Thunderman theme song that's like, when you hear the lightning strike coming over the mountains, what's that noise? You better hide your children and your barn animals. Here comes the storm. Here comes the storm. Thunderman roll over the mountains. We should get a bard.
How much did you make on Bandcamp last year? And there's a knock on the door.
It's the IRS.
It's the IRS.
It's fucking Bandcamp police.
Yes,
sir. These can't have been your songs.
Oh, no, sorry. You're actually getting served a subpoena because that's one of Billy Joel's songs, and you stole it.
Roll over the mountains, you're the Thunderman.
And now we find ourselves, it is late at night here in the dorms once more. And we find that Fitzroy is in his meditative trance, and the Firbolg once again is sleeping and dreaming. Could you tell us about your dream, Firbolg?
It's the same dream every night. He's sitting around the fire with him and her and him. Their leader stands and he points into the woods. And that almost always is when he wakes up.
But in this moment, when you turn and look at the woods, you see amongst the trees a shadowy face so close to perception. In fact, why don't you make a perception check for me?
12 plus 6, 18.
You recognize in the flickering light of the campfire, there amongst the shadows of the trees, just for a second, the face of Higglemus Wiggenstaff. And then the dream fades to nothing. And Argo, you know it is nearing the time of your meeting, so it's time for you to sneak out of the dorm room. Would you make a stealth check for me?
Let's see. 14 plus 8.
Excellent. You make it out of the dorm room without waking Fitzroy or the Firbolg. You head towards the meeting, the same place you have met Jackle many times over the course of this semester. This time, though, is a little different. When you reach the moonlit balcony, you find Jackle, rather than standing on the balcony, perched on the balustrade at the edge of the balcony. Argonaut Keen, thank you for meeting me. So, it's time you knew, Argo. I knew your mother. Shabri and I, we went to school together, studied together. We even sailed together for a time, but of course that was before she took over the Mariah. We were friends for a long time.
Oh, boy.
I know. I know about your loss. I know about what happened. Broke my heart, Argo. I hoped that this day wouldn't come, or at least not so soon, but it's just about time for you to make an important decision. All these missions, everything I've been sending you on, everything I've been asking you to help with, it's been for an organization that I belong to, that your mother belonged to. It's an old organization. And as you might imagine, very quiet, very private. The only way that someone can join the organization is if they are invited by an existing member, and every existing member only gets to invite one person. And the Kinku flips a coin in your direction. On one side is that same symbol that you saw embossed on the envelope. 2 semicircles overlapping, surrounded by a larger circle. On the other side are the words blood and bone, rain and stone. And Jackle says, and now I think it's time for you to consider joining.
What's the group?
Well, that I can't tell you. I don't know if this will help convince you or not. This isn't an invite from me, Argo. And if you look on the edge of the coin, you see inscribed around its outside, Shabri Keen. Your mother asked me to give that to you when the time was right. If I ever needed to, I hoped it wouldn't come to that. I hoped I'd be able to return it to her and she could give it to you herself, but unfortunately, that's not what happened. We do a lot of good, Argo. I can't tell you much more, but I can tell you this. This is a big decision, and I don't want you to make it right now, because joining this group means turning your life over to the organization. You'll be a member for life, and there will be certain rules and certain missions you'll have to answer to, but I promise you, it will be for the greater good. We do good things, Argo. All of this is for a purpose. But like I said, don't answer now. I want you to think on it, and I'll talk to you soon.
Let me ask one question. What if I say no?
If you say no, you can keep the coin and go on about your life.
How much time I get to think about it?
I'll ask you when the time is right.
Can I talk to my boss about it and my co-worker?
No, that is the one thing. Unfortunately, the survival of our group depends on secrecy. I waited to talk to you till I thought I could trust you. I need you to keep this to yourself, between us, okay, Argo?
Okay. I will study on this, and I will think about it. Have you got time to answer some questions about my ma?
There will be time later. And Jackle turns back and stares at the night sky.
So I should leave. Okay. We're done. I wanted to make sure. It's just the quiet. This is the quiet thinking. I'm doing the quiet. Okay. I'll just let myself out. And go. I'm gonna think quietly. Here.
Please leave. I gotta pee so bad.
Thanks for the talk.
He's out. He's out.
Hi, it's me again, your best friend and kind and benevolent Dungeon Master, Travis McElroy. Just a couple announcements before we get back to the show. If you head over to McElroy.family and click on merch, you're going to see some new stuff in there, including a bumper sticker to show your pride if your student is if your child, is an honor student at Clyde Knight's Night School. Get yourself that bumper sticker, as well as a bunch of other fun TAZ stuff and just other McElroy stuff. So check that out at McElroy.family or McElroymerch.com. You can still pre-order the Adventure Zone graphic novel by going to theadventurezonecomic.com. It's Pedals to the Metal, book number 3. It is our best one yet. I love it, and I'm so very proud of it. If you haven't pre-ordered yours now, go do it. TheAdventureZoneComic.com. Okay, now for real, back to the show. It's time for the student-teacher meetings. First up is the Firbolg meeting with Bartholomew, the Aarakocra snow owl counting professor. Bartholomew has been impressed, not necessarily by the results, but by the hard work that you have committed over the semester. And though you may not be his best student, you are his most improved. And he turns to you and goes, "Quick, assets equals..."
Liabilities plus equity.
Yes! Master Firbolg, it does my heart good. Oh, now, okay, how about this? Equity is measured what?
For accounting purposes by subtracting liabilities from the value of an asset.
Yes! You're making me so proud. Oh, like you're my own son. Now, above all else, what is the rule?
Get paid or get lost.
Well put. I look forward to you retaking Accounting 101, but this time with the base level of knowledge needed to pass it.
I will not do this thing.
Maybe we can work out some kind of special studies.
I will not do this thing.
Well, I thought I had you, but we'll figure it out. I'll get you.
I will take my C- and wear it like the badge of honor.
Well, I requested to be the one to meet with you today because I wanted to know how you are adjusting to life here at school.
Is difficult.
How so?
I find purpose in my work, find purpose in study, but do not have purpose beyond.
Oh, I see.
When I think about this, there is a great pain.
Master Firbolg, please tell me if I'm prying, and if I am, you do not need to answer, but what could possibly have brought you here?
I was exiled from my clan, and when this happened, I walk away toward the sun. I follow till it began to set, and then I kept at my back as I followed my shadow. I followed this way for 13 days and 14 nights, and the first thing I arrive at is this school. I decide I would be of this clan, of this school. It is fated.
I see. Well, it seems to me, Master Firbolg, that you are in a somewhat precarious position. So far, it seems you have worked out that your fate is to be here, to be part of this clan, as you say, but it seems like you haven't thought beyond that.
It is better not to think of this. The Firbolg code in your tongue says the tribe's honor over yours. So I honor this school through my work and think not of my honor.
Master Firbolg, that is wonderful. That is lovely, but I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but not everybody feels that way. Most people tend to work towards their own ambitions and goals. You need to figure out, at least partially, what it is you want, or there may come a time when you realize everyone else has found their purpose with your help, and you are once again alone. And we move to the meeting with Fitzroy and Higglemas Wiggenstaff. Now, Fitzroy, when you enter Higglemas's office, which you have been in once before, Higglemas is busy setting up an afternoon tea. Oh, fancy lad. Yes, come in, please, join us.
Higswigs.
Okay.
Yes, I figured since I've been escalated somewhat recently, we could speak a tad more informally. So, Higglemas, what can I do for you?
I just had a couple questions for you, honestly. First things first. You have had a kind of sour disposition since you got here, and it's led me to wonder what is so wrong with being a sidekick.
Well, it's when you have your eyes on a certain goal that you have harbored for decades and decades, it is difficult to have that goal stripped from your grasp when it's just sort of inches away from your quivering fingertips. And then it's replaced by another goal, which is, and I've been trying to do this slightly more since becoming a villain, it is shittier. That felt weird coming out.
Yes, you don't curse well.
So, yes, it was just a sort of staggering disappointment. It's also that the school's not as good as the one that I was enrolled in. Again, I said that very bluntly.
I see. Then that leads me to my next question. You mentioned a goal. I assume that's to be a knight of some sort?
Yes, of some sort.
Why do you give two shits about being a knight?
See, it sounded so cool when you did it.
Yes, well, I've been around the block, son. I've learned to curse.
Why do I care about being a knight?
Okay, let's put it a different way. What would it mean to you to be a knight?
It means honor and integrity and chivalry.
Okay, that's all bullshit. You're just saying, like, the words.
You get on a horse and people look at you and say, how noble and honorable. And that's what I'm all about,
Gross.
Man.
That's not the real answer. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine. No one wants to be a knight so that people will look at them and that's nothing.
It is difficult to make a name for yourself in this world of showiness and grandeur and, frankly, almost hysterical amounts of inequality. Since I was a child, there has always been something about the knighthood that has seemed fair. If you do the work and you stay true to whatever cause you swear yourself to, you can become somebody. You wanted the honest answer, that's it. And I realize it's self-defeating. It's not the most chivalrous or noble answer, but...
Oh, Can I tell you something? I disagree. I think that there is nobility and honesty. But I must tell you, I fundamentally disagree with what you have put forward there. Because what you're saying is that you work hard, and through your merit, you are able to lift yourself up by your bootstraps, blah, 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 blah. I have been in this world for centuries, son. And I can't remember that ever being the truth. There's something to be said for hard work, but there's always something more to it.
Yeah, I mean, sure, cool. Yes, I am aware that what you said is also true, and Higgs, I'm just trying to make the best of what I got. Trying to make sort of bad school lemonade, if you will.
You have brought me to my last question, which is you have been working hard, and your hard work set you on your path here, and then somehow ended up elevated to the villain track. And here's the thing, in this school's 250-year history, no one has ever been moved from the sidekick and henchperson track to the villain and hero track. So what is it about you that my brother is so interested in?
Honestly, from the moment he said that I was going to move up to a larger suite with its own personal bathroom, I sort of stopped. The rest was kind of static. Something on your mind, Higglemus?
Fitzroy, be careful in your time here. There are more ulterior motives in this school than you could count, and no one can be trusted.
I keep hearing that.
Least of all my brother. Be careful, young Fitzroy. And congratulations.
There it is. Thank you.
Rainier comes and greets you at the door. She has on a beautiful white dress with pink and gold accents. Her chair's ground effects are on and pulse lightly with the music. Oh, I'm so glad you could make it.
I hold out a present that is wrapped in fine papers.
Ooh.
Fine glimmering papers.
Would you say the finest papers?
No. God.
Oh.
But it's pretty good.
Medium fine. I can't wait to see what it is. And she unwraps it. And what does she find?
I got you. I've learned recently about this wonderful little invention called a notebook of far speech, and you can write little things in the back of it, and it'll show up in other connected tomes, and I've got one. I think Argo's got one. Yeah, I figured, now that we're co-villains, if we ever get, lonely, I figured this would be a good way to keep in touch.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And she gives you a big hug. It's Buckminster.
Bucky.
And for the first time since you've met him, you would describe him as looking disheveled.
What's the scoop?
This may be something of a weird question, but have you seen Leon?
I was looking for Leon yesterday. I had a squirely duty for him, so that's going to be a no.
It is quite strange. He hasn't come home in a couple of days, and that is not like him. And I had hoped that he might be with his friends, with you fellows.
I mean, we're at a party right now, Buckminster. Do you think we should? Are you this worried about it? Should we go look around right now?
You know what? Maybe he's here. I'll look around.
Sure, Buckminster, I feel like I should tell you, Leon was acting somewhat cagey when last we spoke, somewhat nervous, scared even, one might say.
Oh my. This isn't the place to discuss this, then. Can we meet during the break and make a plan? The party winds down, and it's time to head home, but Fitzroy and Firbolg, as you begin to leave, you can't find Argo anywhere.
Firbolg,
Yes.
pal,
Yes.
have you noticed that Argo's just sort of been creeping out from time to time?
It is very strange.
I'm wondering if Argo has taken a lover?
If he wanted us to know where he was, he would tell us, yes?
This is a good point. Well,
Fitzroy,
yes.
could you ask him with this book?
Yes, that's a good point. Let's hit him up, see if he answers. And I scribble in the back of the notebook of Far Speech. What's up? Where you at? Love, Fitzroy.
Travis, am I at my secret meeting?
You are heading there now, yes.
Dear Fitzroy, how are you? And he wrote it how, and then the letter R and the letter U. I am fine, running some errands, getting tattoo finished up down at the hedgehog pen. See you back at the room. Friends for life, Argo Keen.
Sounds cool. Have a cool summer. Love, Fitzroy.
We find Argo finishing his response as he stands outside the door to the blacksmith class, as it's called, the forge. Now, you have not been in the basement. You have not been to the forge since your first day when Buckminster took you on a tour. As you make your way in, this time the forge is blazing bright, and you see Jackle there, but you also see a male Goliath who stands about 8 feet tall, and he is at the mouth of the forge. Oh, Argonaut Keen, you came and you joined us. Please, come in. I'd like you to meet my friend Mosh. You and I need to talk. You are about to join an organization that is as old as human memory. It is called the Unbroken Chain. Now, the Unbroken Chain exists with one simple principle in mind. There must be those who take responsibility. Those who, when they believe someone needs help or someone needs stopping, that they are the ones who step up. There must be someone who doesn't wait for someone else to be the one. The Unbroken Chain does what needs to be done, whatever that may be. You becoming a member will mean that there will be missions and tasks. These things must be done in secret. Our work isn't for notoriety, isn't for fame, but even more so, without anonymity, we would not be able to operate with the light touch that we do. So, for one last time, does that sound like an organization you would want to join?
May I ask a question?
Of course.
Will this interfere at all in my goal of completing my training and moving on here at the school?
You will, from time to time, need to answer the call and handle a mission or two, but no, it will not interfere with your regular life.
Out of love for my mom and in her honor, I'm happy to accept this burden and be a link.
Please present your coin.
Here is the kind.
And he takes the coin and he places it into a stone crucible and places it into the forge and begins to melt it. Repeat after me, Argonaut Keen. Blood and bone, rain and stone.
Blood and bone, rain and stone.
Your burdens now shall be mine own.
Your burdens now shall be mine own.
No longer shall I walk alone.
No longer shall I walk alone.
Rain and stone, blood and bone.
Rain and stone, blood and bone.
And he finishes what he has been working on and places it into a vat of water to cool. And he raises a chain with the emblem that you have seen now a couple times, the overlapping rings encircled that you now recognize as chain links. And Mosh places the cool metal pendant over your neck. You are now the newest member of our branch of the Unbroken chain. And so I can reveal our first and pretty big secret. Do you remember early on in the semester when Gary made such a big deal out of there not being any secret passages in the school? Well, that's not entirely true. And he slips on a heavy runed glove and reaches up into the forge, and you hear a clunk, and the fire dies away, and you realize that it is actually a path, a tunnel to a metal door. Come with me, Argonaut Keen. And you and Mosh and Jackle move to the door, and inside you pass through the shimmering doorway, and you find a large table. There are 3 chairs for you, Jackle, and Mosh, and they invite you to sit down. Now, let's get right to business. For your first assignment, Argonaut Keen, tell us everything you know about Fitzroy Maplecourt. And across campus, Fitzroy and the Firbolg have laid down to sleep. When the Firbolg closes his eyes and drifts off, the dream begins again, only this time, you don't find yourself in a forest by a campfire surrounded by your clan. You find yourself in Higglemus Wiggenstaff's office. You are standing in front of his desk. He holds in one hand the stone that you picked up from the magical ore cave. He is wearing the camera spectacles that you used to photograph the rift in space that the Zorn moved through. This is very interesting. You say the rift just appeared?
Yes.
That is interesting. You have done well. This is exactly what I asked for, and more. And there's a knock at the door. And he says, that must be my next appointment, and smiles at you, Firbolg. Yes, come in. And the door opens, and Leon enters. Yes, you wanted to see me? Yes, Firbolg, that's all. You may, forget. And the vision begins to fade, but before it does, you hear Higglemus say, Now, I understand that you've made a report to the Heroic Oversight Guild, Leon. That is very disappointing. And then it all goes black. A bright flash of light, a whiff of smoke, and the dream fades.